Hi everyone, my name is Vicky Sumangando from Sumangando. Now I will bring the news, the big problem that happened in the world, especially global warming. But before we continue, it is better if we know what is global warming. Global warming is a process of increasing the average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, ocean, and land. Here are the facts about global warming. First, 2014 was the year with the warmest temperature in history. Based on data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, 2014 was the hottest year since 1880. At the time, the temperature on land reached 51 degrees Celsius, while the sea, the temperature reached 39 degrees Celsius. And the sea level has increased by 0.9 meters. Since 1992, sea levels has risen by 8 centimeters annually. Sea level is predicted to rise between 0.3 and 0.9 meters by the end of this century. Third, the ice surface in the Arctic is expected to disappear by 2014. In 2015, the ice surface in the Arctic is melting faster than in previous year. According to research conducted by Geophysical Research Letters, the Arctic will have a surface without ice by 2014. More than 1 million animal species are threatened with extinction. Study shows more than 1 million animal species on Earth are threatened with extinction due to change in ecosystems. This is in accordance with a report from Leeds University in 2004, which predicts an extinction of animals that cause extinction. The causes of the increase in temperature on the Earth's surface include: first, excessive use of electricity. Too much electricity used at home, even for things that don't need to be done at home too often. The more electronic device in the house, the more electricity usage will be. As a result, the energy needed by power plants is also increasing, even though we are able to pay for this electricity. The use of energy that is increasingly used can increase the temperature of the Earth. Therefore, the PLN often calls on saving electrical energy. Next, that is lack of trees. Trees provide many roles for the environment. Besides being able to make the environment cool, it turns out that trees can also be a tool to deal with hot temperatures and breathe in carbon dioxide, which is one of the causes of increasing Earth's temperature. Planting trees at home is indeed more difficult nowadays because of the high cost of land. So the yard becomes small and narrow. It is very difficult for us to see urban residents who plant trees in front of their house because of the narrow land. The last is the number of buildings using the greenhouse concept. Houses do look more beautiful. Lately, there have been many tall buildings that use the concept of greenhouse on their walls. The resulting impact that it cannot absorb the sun but reflect it into the air. The more buildings with the greenhouse concept, the hotter the environment will be. Here are the data of carbon dioxide. Based on this data, it can be seen that every year that increase or decrease in carbon dioxide emissions can have an impact on the temperature on Earth. Here are actions from various perspectives in dealing with global warming. First, adult Christian students respond and actions. As adult Christian students, we must protect and preserve what God has given us and not even damage it. As if we have a garden, plant a variety of plants so that our air is cool and not too hot. Other actions we can take are implement reduce, reuse, and recycle, use less air conditioning, turn off the light if we don't need it, plant trees as much as possible. And the last, invite others to do environmental preservation. Next, that is government response or action. What can Indonesia do to mitigate climate change? Of course, Indonesia is still focused on the goals of Paris Agreement, where in 2020 is hoped that we reduce emissions by 26% and in 2030 it will reach 29% or even up 41% if supported by the international community. So, to encourage emission reduction, we focus on three aspects that affect these emissions. First, we have to protect forests so that there is no longer any reduction in forest areas or deforestation. Instead, we have started to focus on rejuvenating the forest again. The second is the use of renewable energy, where the share of renewable energy is still relatively small in our energy mix, only 7% of the total, and of course, we want it to be increased by 20% by 2025. One more thing is of course the contribution from the transportation sector, where we must try to improve the quality of the environment, especially air in this case, and ensure. How does the Indonesian government prepare policies related to sustainable development? If the sustainable development goal of 2030, we are preparing low-carbon development based on four main pillars: preventing deforestation and reforesting or replanting forests. Second, improving the quality of the environment, both water and air. Third, improve agricultural productivity without having to expand the land. And the fourth is to encourage renewable energy and energy conservation. First, reduce the use of private motorized vehicles. Second, buy energy efficient items. Third, be a wise buyer shop, and much more. And the last one is entrepreneur response or action. To reduce the impact of global warming in Indonesia, entrepreneurs who are in Indonesia can reduce products that are not environmentally friendly and reduce the production of goods that can cause global warming events. By looking at various actions and response to deal with global warming, presumably we can also practice some of these actions in our daily life to prevent global warming, because global warming will be very disparate in the future. Do we want our children and grandchildren to not be able to see various beauties on Earth due to global warming? Of course not. So, let us unite to prevent global warming before things that we don't need want happen.